Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're back live for another episode of MojoBreak.com's The Hype. I'm joined by Mike Piazza. I myself am Kevin Smith. We've got a fun, exciting show today. We've got a lot of topics, including the huge topic of the hobby right now, autopen gate. We're also joined by C-Rad. C-Rad was correct. Lacking.
Hey, guys.
Did you get a chance to see that Despicable Me 3?
Oh. Didn't we just get done talking about this like 20 minutes ago?
It wasn't on the air.
Jeez.
Haven't seen it yet. I'm taking the kids to watch Spider-Man on Friday, though.
Nice. I'll have to peep out that flick myself.
So you're telling me you went out and saw... I mean, you consider yourself a big hip-hop guy, right?
I did.
And you didn't see All Eyes on Me, but you've seen Despicable Me.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't bring my daughter that's going to be 3 into a Tupac flick.
You can. And Tupac's not in it.
Well, it's being portrayed. I'm sure there's a few F-bombs in there.
There's an F-bomb or two, but, you know.
So I will have to peep that flick out, as I am a big Tupac fan. Grew up on Tupac. But anyways, let's dive right into autopen gate. If you guys haven't heard, the news dropped on Sunday night, early Monday, and it's kind of set the hobby internet by storm on the forums, on social media outlets. So basically, the saga of the Dak Prescott Prism autos, they were found to be auto-penned, at least allegedly, by Beckett. So a few people had turned in some of the 2016 Prism Dak Prescott autos, which were originally redemptions. They were turned in, and a few of the graders, or maybe one of the graders at Beckett, said that these all look too similar. The brushstrokes look way too similar to be signed by Dak in person. It looked like it was machine made. So we have not gotten any response from Panini on this. We haven't gotten any response from Dak yet on it. But it's a big deal, and it's going to be interesting on how this turns out. Is going to set the precedent for another incident of like this coming up in the hobby. What are your thoughts, Dan, on this whole autopen gates?
We're going to have to give it a couple days. I mean, Panini needs to come out, and obviously they need to make a statement about it. They did start. They contacted basically UPS, because I think that's how they ship most of it, or FedEx, whatever carrier they use. But they did. They had a lot of that stuff going back to them. So, I mean, does it surprise you? I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
No.
If you go on Panini, I mean, it really. If Panini knew about it, then that's really bad. That may dig a hole that they can't get out of. But I mean, do you think they knew about it?
I don't. I think it was a situation, and people are like, everybody's saying, well, these autos should be signed in person, witnessed, things like that. I did hear from sources from Panini at the summit in April that Dak Prescott is extremely hard to get a hold of, especially after the season. That they had sent the cards to one place and he didn't sign them, so they had to send them back, and then they had to resend out the cards, and then he wasn't at that location, which all these places he claimed he was going to be there, he wasn't. Panini had to take the cards out, send them back, so he's been extremely hard to get a hold of. And I've also heard that he doesn't sign stickers, that he's claimed he does not want to sign stickers anymore, which throws even more conspiracy into his side of things, because probably auto-penning a sticker is a lot harder than auto-penning a card.
Also, that's interesting, because in honors, all the rookies are stickers except him.
Right. Which maybe we should look a little closely at our honors cards, because that's a more recent release that he had done.
See, and I'm going to give a little speculation here. What if, hypothetically, what if this is not the first time this has happened? When it first happened, I came in and I was talking to Doug about it, and I had kind of a connection between... I haven't held one of these Dak autos yet. I have not seen one in person, so I'm just going based solely on the photos that I've seen, but there seemed to be a little bit of connection between the technology, what it looked like, and the optic cards, optic baseball that came out. Now, what if there has been some auto penning that's been done already in the market, and it went overlooked because it wasn't a big release or a big name? Now, again, this is
pure speculation.
Hypothetical. Do not quote me, but at least from the pictures I've seen, there could be a connection between Optic Baseball and at least how the autograph on the Dax look.
Well, some old school guys also complain about the black ink on autos, because if you historically look over pieces of autographs and memorabilia and stuff over the years, it's always been with blue pen. Blue pen is kind of the standard. So Panini has switched over to black pen. Some people actually like the look of black pen better. Maybe there's more black pens out on the market. But this one actually is signed in black pen. Now, any auto pen machine can take any pen, so that's kind of irrelevant. But there is an argument about black pens and blue pens that does kind of go on in the hobby about which one's better and which one's aesthetically more pleasing, which people prefer the blue over the black. But I think I have a slide next about Steve Grad and Darren Ravel. This made ESPN, guys. This is crazy. Our little niche hobby that no one else outside of your friends or people in the hobby know about made ESPN. So it's a good read. Darren Ravel on ESPN, senior writer. You can check it out on ESPN.com. It was on the main page early this morning. Don't know if it still is. There's probably some juicier stuff as opposed to this hobby stuff. But he broke the news, and he kind of just said what we said. We have not heard from Dak. We have not heard from Panini yet. Panini, I mean, it's a long week for Panini. It's a long weekend for Panini is what I should say. They're probably not there. But they definitely probably should get out underneath this, and, I think they are. So they're probably doing their due diligence right now.
I wouldn't expect a press release until early next week.
Yeah.
So there may not be anybody at the headquarters right now.
Yeah, and Beckett Grading Service, Steve Grad was the one that had some interactions about the alleged auto pen situation. If you can go to the next slide, you see one of the items in question there. So very clean auto. It looks exactly like Dak's auto, but if you follow some of the other images, they almost look exactly the same from the loop down to where the 4 is placed. So that's what brought up the questioning from Beckett's perspective, that these all look too similar from the same run. So they refuse to grade anymore, and Panini, like Dan said, is refusing to send any more out. So we hope that there's a great solution for collectors that are holding on to these redemptions, because this is a valuable card. We're talking about the top rookie in the NFL. This is a huge card. So that's the main thing, is to do right by the collector. And so we got to trust the process in that the collectors will be done right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the way Panini is going to handle it, I don't think they knew about it. I think Dak probably sat there and was like, I'm tired of signing. He signed his contract is probably a fraction of what he's getting paid now.
Yeah. He
signed that rookie premier contract for X amount of autos through X amount of releases. They do it tiered. I think they do it tiered just like a draft. They get paid based on where they get drafted.
Right.
So again, pure speculation. He may be getting paid $12 an auto.
Right.
Because that is his initial contract that he signed with Panini. Now, he can do a show in Dallas and probably get paid $150, $200 an auto.
Right.
Signing 8x10s and stuff like that. So he's probably thinking, what do I got to do to get out of this contract? And he probably felt what I was doing, I'm still giving them their autograph. I'm still signing the content. He just found a loophole in the system. Now,
yeah, and I have something about sponsors coming up.
Now, what can Panini?
Some people may say, "What's an auto pen?" It's not an auto tune. That's made famous by T-Pain. An auto pen is basically a pen that you can program like that, a signature. So they program a signature in it. You can program variables. These are mainly used for like businesses that write checks a lot. Or I know the president has used them in the past when people do, hey, send me an autograph letter, Mr. President. He has these machines that make these autos. That's what they're mainly used for. But as technology gets better and this stuff gets cheaper, this is the thing that, Panini needs to put in their contract and maybe needs to set a precedent going forward with this incident. If it is determined that this was auto pen, that there needs to be some language and there needs to be something that prevents this from happening, because I don't know what an auto pen auto would be worth on a card. How much does it devalue if it's not the athlete signing the card?
I got to say, the auto pens that I've seen from Dak, if that is an auto pen, That's damn clean though. Like it is pretty damn clean looking.
Yeah.
It's some of them you can see weren't quite centered properly. The gold vinyls. You can see that those may have been the first ones that they put in the system and tried to like get them lined up because the autographs are way off.
Yes. Yeah.
But they definitely figured out for the purple. The purple ones, they're like perfectly centered, and I mean it looks good. But again, it's not touched by the player.
Right.
He didn't hold up his part of the agreement, but in his mind, he probably did.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky. And what recourse does Panini have? Could they file a lawsuit against Dak? Well, I'll tell you right now, they file a lawsuit against Dak, and they will never get another autograph from him ever again.
They may not anyway.
If they even confront him on doing an auto pen, they may never get another autograph from him ever again.
Yeah, that's a very sticky situation.
It is. I don't know where they go from here.
What does the NFLPA need to get involved in this?
There's also another concern with the quality control with those cards getting sent back to Panini. How many channels does it go through before it actually gets packed out and sent to the person who's going to receive the card? I mean, somebody should have been able to look at that and go, something doesn't look right here.
But go back up past the auto tune. Go back up to that first auto there with the purple. I mean, would you question that? Would you look at that and question that if you worked at Panini?
If my job is to sit there and stare at autographs all day, and my job is in quality control, yeah, I would. I wouldn't. I mean, somebody had to basically get the card back, put it in the magnetic, take the time to put the sticker on it. I mean,
but if I showed you this picture and you had no idea about an auto pen situation, you wouldn't question that.
I may question that, especially since the fact that you've been trying to get this guy to sign for how long, and then all of a sudden, just all the autos show up at your door. Man, I've been trying to get this guy for 6 months, and now here they all are. How'd he do it? How'd he find the time?
Well, if PSA is hiring, we got Dan over here. He's looking for it. He's got expert eyes. He knows exactly how to spot auto pen cards.
Damn right.
He's his 20/20 vision, maybe like 40/40 vision.
I think I actually have better than 20/20 vision.
C-Rad, would you have thought anything? Somebody sent you that. You opened it up. Would you go, man, that looks too good?
Probably not.
Come on, man. Come on, just be honest. You don't have to lie to kick it, bro.
I would be like, wow, that's a damn clean Dak Prescott auto.
But I mean, to his credit, most of them are clean though. He doesn't have like a Takaris McKinley or a Vernon Morency type auto. He has a very clean looking auto, very visually appealing.
I think you're shortchanging yourself. I think if you were to hold that card, I think you look at enough autos, I think you would be able to call it out. Why are you dumbing yourself down, bro?
I'm just picturing the process, and I don't know how many employees work at Panini. That's key knowledge for maybe the next episode. I want to find out. That's probably public knowledge, is how many people are at Panini. You got to figure they have 3 sports that they have exclusives in. They may have thousands of autos coming through the door. These guys probably don't have time to literally pull a magnifying glass on every single card. They just probably are looking to make sure they're autoed. You know what I'm saying? It's just business as usual. Business as usual.
Maybe Panini's going to hire you to do the statement for him.
Maybe,
because you're doing a pretty good job right now.
I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and this is a good show by having differentiating opinions here. That's what this is all about. So
I think if 700 autos show up at your door and you've been trying to get this guy for 6 months, I think you're going to look at the auto and question it a little bit. And again, I feel like buying one of those so I can actually see it. They're probably out of my price range.
Yeah, I mean, but given the information now, it's easy to, determine that. You know what I'm saying? But beforehand, they probably get the ODB situation. He didn't sign for like a year and a half. And then ODB turns in all of his autos all at once. Did somebody say, oh, he turned them all in at once, so maybe they're auto-penned. We should look at them with the fine-tooth comb now. I mean, they're used to athletes. Athletes make millions of dollars. This is pennies on the dollar to them. So it's just kind of like doing homework when you don't want to. You're not into that class. You're going to turn it in last minute. You're not into that class.
I get it. I was that kid.
Especially when you
I had a lot of classes I wasn't really into.
Especially when you reach superstar status, like what we talked about on lunch off air, is if Dak Prescott got drafted by the 49ers. he probably would be happily signing all of his autos, probably putting an at Dak on there and smiley faces and stuff like that because he's loving that sponsor money from Panini.
Be running around being like, oh, crap, I got Dak'd again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. I was going for Elliott. I got Dak.
I got practice squad Dak.
So, but Steve Grad, made famous by Pawn Stars, he's after the auto tune video there. He was the one that kind of came out on social media, and this guy's got a resume that he's worked for PSA, and he's now head of Beckett Authenticating. So the guy's seen a lot of autographs, so he does have a good resume that if he sees something that doesn't look good, you almost got to believe him. So this was from a Facebook post here. Where somebody was commenting on the situation, and Steve said, I do not know about, you could read it too, but I'm going to read it as well. I do not know about it. While it's difficult to say with 100% certainty, there appears to be a machine signed SIG or several different being utilized by Prescott. The similarities are almost identical, and it's a possible several machine matrices are being utilized by him, but I've seen a small handful that don't appear to be signed by a human hand. So if anybody knows anything about autographs, it's this guy. This guy's got, I don't even know how many years. I'm guessing here, 20, 30 plus years in the hobby, and we need to have him maybe possibly on the show or comment. But he was on Pawn Stars. They called him in on all the big autograph stuff on Pawn Stars. So if anybody's going to be able to spot a fake, I'm assuming he's going to be on the top of the list of spotting a fake. So, but
whoa. Again, it's still Dak's auto. It's not fake. Like, we keep on saying fake auto. It's not technically fake. It's an auto pen, but it is his autograph. It's not somebody else signing the card. So it's
a machine signing the
I
card.
understand, but like we keep on throwing around that word fake. It's not fake.
Well, what do you call it then?
I don't know, but it's not fake.
The only thing that's weird for me you see these three pink Prism autos on the screen there, and the top one's a little smeared. And, I don't know, that they don't look exactly identical to me. Now, the loop where the P is, that loop is almost identical. But, I mean, there is a little different similarities. If you look at the beginning of the D, and now I don't know if that's where the auto pen starts.
The loop on the two T's, all three of them are different.
I don't know about that.
No, they are. I know this. I have better than 20/20 vision. You can't see it because you don't have superhuman X-ray vision. I have it. You don't.
You must eat a lot of carrots. At least that's what my parents told me.
I got done eating a whole bag of carrots before I came here.
Man, they have you working at the airport, dude. You don't even need an X-ray machine.
Like flying airplanes?
No, just like stand and make sure there's no bombs coming on the plane. You see right through them.
Yeah. You mean the TSA line?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
And this one was kind of interesting. Is it got cut off by the screen, but this one was almost like it was auto pen trial mode because they're all in different places. Which if he's signing them back to back, they'd probably be on the same place, I would think. So that's this one kind of maybe was the incident which raised the question of the authenticity of the autograph being auto penned and not signed by Dak. I don't want to use the word fake because it seems like it makes Dan angry when I say fake. So I'm not going to use the word fake anymore, but I'm going to use the word auto-penned. But
fair enough. I could take that one.
You take that one.
I cannot take. I'm not going to call it real, but I'm not going to call it fake.
Right.
So actually, back to this, and you can see how the autographs are in different areas of the card. Now, when they get these cards, they're basically in a box similar to a 100 count box or a 150 count box or 200 count box that you would see at your local card shop. Everybody's seen them. They come in those sleeves, and those gold vinyls would be at one end of the box.
Yeah.
I'm assuming when they started with the auto pen, they started on those cards first. So if the one of one probably hasn't been pulled yet,
or at least not surfaced,
or hasn't surfaced yet, but those have surfaced because there's 5 of those.
Yeah.
Which also we can go on topic about that, how that pisses me off because it looks like a 101, but it's numbered to 5. It's the not so superfractor, and it's bullshit is what it is. But that's a completely different topic.
Yes.
But it looks like they were trying to line up the auto pen, and that's why you see it in different spots of the card, and they started with that side. They probably really dialed it in when it got to the 49 and 99s if they got that far. So
yeah, it would seem like they started with the 101, and then went
they
to
started
the
with the
5s,
101, then they went to the 5s. The 101 may be a nightmare. It may be autoed on his face. I'm not sure.
It's just like the whole size of the card. Like they didn't change the sizing out of the box. They did it on that one. They're like, oh god, we should have started with a regular base version first. Damn it, we got to print another one of these. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting scenario. And what Dan alluded to is Panini's autograph deal with Dak is pennies compared to what he signed in the offseason.
Ooh, I like Tostitos.
Adidas, and that's the money that he gets from the sponsors.
Are those euros down there?
Dude, it's a lot of money there. He's gotten from Adidas, Tostitos.
What are those red bills down there? I mean, I
ran out of bills.
I
man.
have great vision, but I can't tell. Those are pennies.
Those are pennies.
That's when I sign autograph deals. That's what I get.
And that's not intentionally ripping on Panini. They probably pay him the market. I'm not saying they're like coming in there and wheeling dealing and giving him like a couple pennies. That's just the scope of the hobby niche that we're in. I mean, we're dealing with Panini that reported revenue of like 30 million this year. I'm sure Adidas, I don't even know, reported revenue of like billions or millions.
Billion, maybe billions. Millions, billions.
Right. And you can see he's very happy wearing his Adidas. We don't see pictures of him holding his Prism cards like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at that smile.
Yeah, exactly. I would be too.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I'm going to wear these all year long.
You got a Adidas.
I mean, Klay Thompson saw
Adidas shirt, Adidas shoe. Are those the sweatpants you're looking to get? Oh, you're looking to get Nike
Similar,
sweatpants.
Yeah, that's the new hip thing.
The new hip thing to wear sweatpants that are for toddlers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, real tight style.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, they can't, obviously, the way the scope of the products are run, they can't pay him Adidas money. So that goes to what Dan was saying earlier is he may have, he went from a second round draft pick to a superstar overnight throughout the year, thankfully because of Tony Romo. And he actually claimed during the season he wasn't going to entertain any endorsement deals, and people viewed him as a savior for that. Oh, he's not concerned with off-the-field stuff. He may have been concerned about his money because he knew he was headed to the playoffs. Then he's going to ink some deals. So he inked some deals immediately after the season with Adidas, Tostitos. I think I have a Beats one coming up here too, or we already showed the Beats. So he was out there getting these sponsors. Now, Panini probably tiered the deal where he signs a quarter of the cards at the beginning of the year at the rookie premiere. He probably signs the other quarter of the cards, and then all the way throughout the year. So the ones at the end of the year, he'd already gotten deals with Beats and Adidas and everything like that.
And then you're looking at the amount of work put into these endorsements for him. That is him having a photographer take a picture of him with the Beat headphones and a tweet, and that's it. We're done. The Adidas, he's basically holding up his shoe at a photo shoot. We're done. With the signatures, where he's probably not getting paid as much as
put in some
everything
work,
else,
homie.
he has to put in some work. He's sitting there and has to literally spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours out of his day to sign autographs.
Yeah.
And probably get hassled. He probably is getting contacted by Panini on a regular basis, like, hey man, like, what do we got to do to get these autographs signed?
Right. And from my point of view, I'm giving Panini the pass on this one right now until they come out with a statement, because they tried to send the cards out. I mean, do we really think they would have sent out knowingly that they were auto-penned? Do you think they would have sent them out to people knowing that they were auto-penned?
No.
So they had no idea.
But that doesn't... I get what you're saying. That doesn't change the fact that I think the quality control should have been a little stronger. I'm not trying to hate, but I'm like, if you see that many autos, plus in that specific scenario, you've been trying to get him to sign, and he all of a sudden gets them all in. It has to raise a question.
But that has to be common with athletes turning all their autos at the same. Why would they turn in 20 of them? And then
but this one guy you've been trying to literally get a hold of for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they're done.
Well, I guess that would be the detective work. If he didn't get them in, and then he gets them in, and they look all the same. I guess that would be the only detective work. But it's easy to say now because we have all the facts.
No, and I understand what you're saying. I get it. And I don't think anybody at Panini knew that they were auto-penned. I think if they did, they wouldn't have sent them out. But they're under so much pressure to get these redemptions out that they just might have been so excited to see him come back, and they just want to get him in the collector's hands.
Right.
That
they rushed him.
So
it's all of our faults.
I have a question.
Yeah.
To both of you guys, who do you think right now? Because the majority of the blame is going to Panini right now. Who do you guys think the blame is on right now?
I think Dak. It would be my opinion, allegedly, because I don't sue me.
Dak would come with that long money.
Dude, we'd be doing DakBreak.com.
Dak break.
Or he'd actually probably just redirect Mojo Break to Adidas or something.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably what would happen.
He'd get, I don't know, that's like an extra maybe $50 a day of site revenue he can gain. So
it's not worth much. It's not worth it for him. Dak, please don't.
Yeah, don't do it.
I love you.
It's on Dak. It's on Dak.
Because I think it's important to kind of point out, like, before all of the facts are out and we know everything, or we know more about it.
Well, we're gonna all feel really stupid if they ended up if they're not auto penned. Well, we're all gonna sit here and we're gonna feel really stupid.
Well, here's another interesting question.
Like, everybody really is jumping on the fact that it's 100% certain that it's an auto pen.
Well, then that's gonna fall back on Beckett. They're the ones that drop.
No, because next week's show is gonna be hilarious because we're gonna sit here and be like, remember that auto pen thing? Sorry about that.
Wasn't true.
My bad.
Here's a question for you. Do you actually think so let's just, like, these are numbers that I'm making up in my head. So let's just say, and we were talking about Julio Jones in the chat, right? Do you think that, like, let's just say Panini pays Julio Jones. Let's just throw out a number. I have no idea. I'm just coming off the hip here. They pay him $30 an auto, right? Do you think some of these guys or their camp or their agents go on eBay and go like, man, these cards are selling for like $200? And that kind of deters them? They're like, man. And they don't really put the correlation that Panini's putting them in boxes and they're not really capitalizing on that money. It's the collectors. But do you think some of them are like, man, I signed all these autos for $20 and they're all selling for $150? What the hell? Do you think that runs across some athletes' minds? Or do they just not have the time to even look at it?
Yeah, I was like, do they really have the time? Because we've done some events with prospects and stuff like that, and I know you've actually brought that up. I think it was Nick Williams you brought it up to, and you're like, man, like your card like sells for like $500 or something like that.
And he was like, wide-eyed.
He was like, what do you mean $500? Like, I don't think a lot of these players, at that time he was a low level prospect. So if he did have time, that would be the time for him to search and find out. I don't think these players have the time to go through and try to figure out. Now, maybe their agents do, and maybe their agents go back and go, well, these cards are selling for X amount of dollars. So the next contract we sign with a card manufacturer, we don't want $25 an auto.
Right.
We want $90 an auto. And the funny thing is that that's going to be second, third, and fourth year autos.
Right.
And those aren't even going to be worth as much, but they're basing that value on what they were worth their rookie season.
Yeah, so Panini kind of gambles on these guys early at the rookie premiere and gets them in a little deal. Yeah, if you've noticed that, you don't see too many Andrew Luck autos coming out. You see 1 to 25, or you'll see them only in high end. So a lot of times they're not able to put these guys financially. It doesn't make any sense for them to put 30 Andrew Lucks in a set because they're paying Andrew Luck $100 and so an auto where he was $20 when he was a rookie.
Yeah, and that's
probably happens a lot, and that's why you don't see these guys except for like Flawless and National Treasures and stuff like that. So, but I did want to, I'm just waiting for more information. Obviously the scenario is not good. I'm just trusting the process. It's very funny if you go on Panini's Instagram. That's why you see the logo up there. It's astounding the hatred that's coming out towards Panini, and I'm trying to dissect this because I've went on like Topps, and Topps doesn't get as much hatred. I've then went to a different industry like Nike and stuff like that, and obviously they get a lot more people on Instagram, and the ratio of negative comments to positive comments on like Nike or Topps or Coca-Cola, it doesn't even compare to Panini. So here's an example of a post prior to the Dak stuff. 18 comments. You can see the little bubble. There's 18 comments. This was prior to the Dak auto pen situation coming out. If you go to the next one, 353 comments. That was after the Dak thing broke.
And that has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do
with the Dak.
And you can see it. And obviously that's like one guy doing a lot. But they just blew Panini up Fake Dak, fake Dak, fake Dak, fake Dak, fake Dak, fake Dak. You can go to the next one. Boneless pizza, which I don't know what that means. But bring back Topps football. You guys are complete shit. We can Chrome football, not your shitty-ass stuff. Fake Dak Prism. And this is just a snippet of some of the stuff. It gets worse.
Wow.
So
I think there was
it's an entertaining read.
How many of those DACs actually got sent back and got actually sent out to the customer?
Not many.
Because
I'm pretty sure those people aren't waiting.
You think
on
that 360 people, you'd think that every single one of them got a DAC auto-penned auto, but I doubt that's the case.
No, people
crazy.
just love to dog pile when it's
But my question is, why Panini? Why? And this is just as completely being an open to both sides of the argument here. Why does Panini get so much hate?
I have no idea. I mean, it's it's not fair, as the great T.O. once said.
It's not fair. It's my quarterback.
Fair. No, I mean, they do a lot of promotions for like stores, like in-store stuff. They also do a lot of promotions with like distributors, and they give a lot back to collectors, but no matter what they do, somebody always comes in and hates on it.
Yeah.
Like they could never, and I get it. I'm probably going to get hated in the chat like for this because I feel like I'm backing Panini because they do some things that I don't agree with, but they do a lot of things that are good for the hobby, and they go unrecognized at all. Like people just don't care. But I think it's because it's low hanging fruit. It's an easy target.
Yeah.
They have all the license, and these other manufacturers used to have the license, so it's a monopoly. I mean, it's borderline a monopoly because they do have basketball. They have exclusive football. They have exclusive World Cup, soccer, FIFA. I get it.
But does NBA Live or one of the video game companies that have exclusives, do they get hated on? Like as much as Panini would?
No.
And once again, I'm just bringing it up for the sake of the conversation.
NBA,
I'm totally in the middle.
But the video games send out it's a product that's consistent. It's a consistent product, and it's only one. They only make one every year.
True.
So you either like it or you don't. But that's it. Like Panini, you're having multiple releases. They try a lot of different things. Some things work, some things don't. But it seems like when things don't work, everybody gets up in arms about it.
Right, and we're getting some good comments in the chat, guys. These are from people in the chat. Well, this one, Panini gets ripped because they're a bunch of scumbags. We've all been screwed over by them, I'm assuming, because it was censored. Exclusives, people are bringing up exclusives, just like you said. There's not game worn, replay, etc. I mean, I guess that's fair.
Not game worn. Well, when Topps had the license, there was a shit ton of event used relics they were putting in there. They were doing the same thing when they had the football license as Panini.
Right.
Now, Panini has been caught on a handful of high-end products putting maybe the wrong jersey in cards, which you got to figure. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more than it does.
Yeah.
But they get bashed on it. Like that's not their intention. They're not trying to screw up. They don't basically go, "Hey, what can we do to like screw up or make this product worse or not be transparent about something?" It's just there's a lot of moving parts and shit happens sometimes. But Panini has been pretty good of addressing those issues.
Yeah.
They're going to address this issue. They might not say the exact thing that you want to hear, but they're going to bring something up. They're going to talk about it.
They have to.
Yeah, I mean, there's been other instances with other manufacturers where they don't bring something up. They don't talk about it.
Yep.
They just, hide and pretend like it didn't exist.
Yeah, like Topps coming out with checklists this year well in advance.
Yeah. We've been trying to get Topps to release checklist for 2 weeks for a long time. Well, now that the products are good and they're all sold out, we have no problem releasing checklist.
Miami, we don't care about our we don't care about our allocations anymore. That does not weigh on any of what we're talking about at all. If I get one box or if I get 50 cases, it doesn't matter because we're just here to just discuss these topics because I think they're pertinent and give both opinions on it. But I do love the banter in the chat that you're bringing today, Miami.
Are we talking allocations? I'm not. One thing I'm okay when it comes Now, if you want to hook me up with some Topps allocations,
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm down with
We
that.
can't get any of that.
But if we're talking allocations for Panini stuff, no, we're not worried about that. Anybody want some any 2017 football product? No problem. You want some 16-17 basketball product? Yeah, I'll get it for you. No problem.
We got some right behind us. I think is the majority of Panini stuff. Actually, I think about 90% of it is Panini stuff on the shelf there in the shop. So, but I wanted to get into this is like a kind of good segue right into the health of the hobby health. So right now, my opinion, very fruitful. Cards are selling well. Products are desirable, especially from the baseball front. I mean, you look at some recent high dollar sales. These are dream cards here. Aaron Judge, 9,000. Tom Brady, 19,000. LeBron James, 35,000. These are obviously the higher selling cards, but there's plenty of $1,000 cards that are just being pulled every day. So the collectability of these products are probably higher than they've ever been right now as 2017 in July. And you got the NBA poised to have a big season with the rookies that are coming out with Lonzo, things like that. I wanted to touch on 2017 Topps MLB products. These have been all the products that have came out this year. You can see what the cost was, and you can see what the cost now. And that's wholesale. So this is wholesale pricing. This is what they've gone up. You can see the green. They've all went up. I mean, you've got, and that's not Bowman Platinum. That's a typo. That is Bowman, regular Bowman. That was the jumbo version, $110. It's now $290, 163% increased. You've got Heritage that started at 60 is now 162. That's a 170% increase. All their products, they're literally shitting gold right now. Anything they do is just gold. It's just insanity. They are literally printing money as we speak.
When is the last time you saw Series 2 go up like that?
Yeah, go back to that Series 2. What are we at on that one?
Damn, son.
Series 2 went up 53%. Series
That's
2.
unheard of.
That's Pro Debut went up.
Pro Debut.
There's not even major league logos on that thing. It's like 185 teams on there.
Well, that had the Timothy Tebow.
Yeah, it's like it's just, man, they just making it rain right now. So they have an average increase of 80% across all their products this year. Crazy. Literally insane. And this is brought to you by Rockstars. Why you keep hearing me burp here, but it's literally insane. Could they come out with the McRib and make that profitable?
Whoa, man. Everybody loves the McRib.
It's true. Could they make fidget spinners?
Aren't they?
Package them up. And those go up.
Little picture of is that?
And that's Manhattan right now. That's Mr. Topps.
Is that Bowman McBowmanstein?
That's Bowman McBowmanstein swimming in the money. So now we want to compare it to Panini NFL 2016. We'll stop on this slide for right now. 2016, we've been breaking cards. If you don't know us, we've been breaking cards for 7 years. So we've been through a lot of draft classes, starting with the 2010, which had Tebow and Sam Bradford. We've endured the 2013 rookie class, which had Geno Smith, which arguably most people in the hobby that have been around for this 7-year span would say would be the worst draft class of all time. Now, 2014, we had Manziel, we had Bortles, we had Carr. 2015, we had ODB. Last year, with the two Cowboy guys, arguably probably one of the best years in the last 10 years. So they've got a home run with two guys playing for a playoff team that are just leading in stats. Two rookies on the Cowboys that are killing it. So Panini had an easy road. So compare the numbers to Topps. I know it's apples to oranges with football and baseball, but across the board, if you go to the next slide now, across the board, well, there's Elliott, there's Wentz,
All right.
there's Prescott. I forgot about those pictures.
Whoa. Where's Goff?
No, we didn't need to talk about him. It's all about Mannion. So 18 out of 38 products went up. And overall, across the board, those 2000 and there's a typo there. It's 2016 Panini. I was on the 2017 train. 2016 Panini. Plus, it was a short week with the 4th of July, so give me a little bit of I had a little man. So it was yesterday. 13% overall increase. So compared to an 80%, now Topps is still early in the season. There's still more releases, but you think that these numbers would be higher because of the great rookies with Wentz, Dak, Elliott, Goff, you said, and Jordan Howard. You got a lot of good guys playing in the NFL that are making impacts for their team. So what that tells me is we got a supply and demand issue, right?
That right there, It's a little chart right there. Did you make that?
I did.
You make that?
I did. I made that. I Googled it myself.
Whoa. What product's selling for $4?
Well, that was, I don't know. Packs of them paralleled now. So Topps uses a print-to-order model, right? So they take their pre-orders in 6 months in advance, and they basically print to order. So if they make 1,200, if they had 1,200 cases on pre-sale, they're probably going to make like 1,500 or 1,600. Now, from what I've heard, Panini just makes it doesn't matter if there's 1,000 cases pre-ordered, they make 4,000.
Whoa. Well, speculation again.
Speculation.
Because we don't know exactly what their method is to what a print run is going to be. You're just basically saying that they may have a set print run that they're going to make at the beginning of the year. They come up with numbers and they're like, okay, we're going to come out with X amount of products. We're going to have to make this amount of money. And the way we make this amount of money is by making this many cases.
Yeah.
So again, not print to order, but we're not sure exactly how many cases they make. Get what I'm saying?
Mr. Garland would be proud, Matt Harvey says. Must be an inside joke.
No such thing as a free lunch.
But what I'm saying is why is Panini's why couldn't they hit a home run with the 2016 rookie class? What was the problem?
They did.
Did they?
It was good.
Well, it was up. It wasn't down.
I mean, we did well with it. Everybody else did well with it. People who got into breaks and got Elliott autos and got Dak autos, and again, I think.
What do you guys think in the chat?
Okay, so we're done. We're done talking to me.
No, go ahead. No. You got. I got to wait for the chat to load up. Got to have some conversation. But I'm just saying, I want to get everybody's opinion on this. So I mean, I think overall it was strong. I think it was strong for everybody. I think your numbers are a little misleading. I think they could have done with maybe 8 to 10 fewer products, and focus on specific products instead of making more. I think that would have. I think it got to the point where there were so many releases that a lot of them didn't have a long enough shelf life to perform. With baseball right now, you're going over how many releases so far? There's like 17. There's 13.
13 releases, and you're talking about 38 releases,
right? In
football.
But
so
I think
so. Let's see what happens if Topps gets to 30 some odd releases in 2017.
But they won't.
But let's
end of the turn.
Let's say they get to 30. Let's say they get to 30 at the end. There's going to be lost interest in some of these products. They're not all going to go up 50%. They're not all going to go up 75, 100%.
You'd be shocked. It's an odd year, man.
No.
For baseball.
No.
It's unlike any other.
Okay, there is going to be some Topps products that come out that they're going to run the presses and they're going to tank. Mark my words. Mark it. What product is it going to be? Is it going to be Bowman Chrome?
Could be.
Is it going to be draft picks? Everybody thinking that there's going to be Judge in there, which there is not going to be Judge in there unless they do some type of insert auto like throwback design or something like a 2013 throwback, buyback, something like that. But there shouldn't be any Judge in there. Update series. People are going to go crazy on update series. Is that going to go down? There is going to be products. Is Dynasty, are they going to run the presses on Dynasty? Are they going to have 40 different like photo variations and they're going to number it to 15, but they're going to be 40 different photo variations, and then they keep the presses running with that? We don't know. There's going to be some Topps products that are not going to perform as well as they have in the first 13.
I agree. I agree with that.
Because remember, these were pre-ordered 8 months ago, 10 months ago in some cases. Is it going to be Topps triple threads? Are they going to keep the presses running on that? Are they going to make 10,000 cases of Topps triple threads?
What I've heard from the distributors is they're making the same amount as they made every year.
No, it's based on, we just got done saying it's print to order. So if we just turned in our triple threads orders, I can guarantee you right now, everybody is going to go heavy on that because they're like, shit, man, I want to print money too. I'm gonna basically put my orders in for, I would normally order 10 cases. I want to order 70 cases.
Well, what people are saying in the chat is Jay August makes a point that he thinks Dallas messed everybody up. I guess specifically probably from a break standpoint. That you got two guys, if they were on two different teams, it may have helped it out. I think more people buy tops in the shop too, because you could see with that number that I had earlier, the best-selling product was Heritage that went up the most.
Because the pre-orders were so low on it, I think.
Well, but shops can bring it back in.
But that's always, historically, it's always a low print run on that, because group breakers do not go back to the well. They don't want to do 15, 20, 30 cases of that. So I think the pre-orders came in relatively light on that, like they usually do.
Yeah.
Because it was pre-ordered 8 to 10 months ago.
Right.
So that's why they only made 2,000 cases. So you're getting a better ROI per box break or per case break because they didn't make as much of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying, Scotty P? And also, yeah, that's another good point in the chat as well, is football is kind of more of an immediate success when you're gathering cards. You don't hold them as long as baseball. Baseball, you hold cards a lot longer. You know, it takes a little bit longer for things to mature. Aaron Judge came out in 2013. It was his first auto. We're in 2017 now. Any football player that's been in the league for 4 years is either out of the league or he's a superstar at that point. So, yeah, maybe it's a shorter attention span with football that affects sales almost immediately.
During the season, it's 100% week to week. I mean, you've seen it how many times a guy has a 100-yard game, his cards shoot up on Monday.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing as playing fantasy football.
It is.
It has a direct connection with it.
With a 16-game season, too. It definitely.
Yeah.
As opposed to 162. My opinion is I would like, and I don't know if Panini's in a position to do this, so this is just a thought, is to do the print-to-order model. If you do the print-to-order model, and let's just throw out unparalleled. Say they come out with unparalleled this year, and everybody's like, I didn't like it last year, crazy colors, I need to wear sunglasses when I open this stuff up. They make it, and they only get 300 cases on pre-order. Make 400 cases. It's probably going to be an amazing product because they made so less of it that the supply and demand's going to go up, and maybe next year they're able to make more because now more people remember last year, and it's going to go up. So the print-to-order model, I know they have to fulfill league requirements, and I know that's tough. But what if you just made, and this may sound like blasphemy for you guys out here, what if they just made more sets but less print run on all of them?
Miami wanted to take my mic away. With a comment like that, you should get your mic taken off. You should just have to go home now. More sets? More sets?
No.
Can you name 15? No, you can. Can you name 20 sets from last year, 2016 football, without looking behind you?
We got Encase, we got Select, we got Prestige, we've got Elite, we've got National Treasures, we've got Flawless, we've got Contenders Collegiate, we have regular Contenders.
No. We can't use college. That's a separate.
I included them in the 38.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Man, you throw me off my game now.
So it does.
Spectra. We've got.
You can just stop now
Panini.
and let me prove my point's proven. Are you going to keep on going?
I could go all day.
You just throw out the Panini football.
Panini football. So maybe a combination of that. Maybe if Prestige order.
Doug would like 150 sets, but all of them have 200 case runs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That doesn't make sense to you guys?
No.
Why?
No.
Because now there's just like numbered to 10 cards of all the top rookies, and they're more collectible instead of numbered to 299 that you're never gonna hit. You're never gonna hit it.
I think it's already too confusing for the consumer, and you thought that was confusing. Hold my beer. Let me show you something.
They're gonna run out of one word names, man. It's just gonna be. They're gonna start going after our mixer names, magnificent and spectacular, and all that stuff. But yeah, I wanted to talk about one set that probably won't go up on the secondary market. Is it a Walmart exclusive 2017 Bowman Platinum? This is going to be the first set to find Cody Bellinger rookies. So I bet you if Topps had that to do over again, they'd probably send it out to distributors. They probably inked this deal with Walmart last year.
Oh, this is going to be retail.
Yes.
Oh.
And they have so head to your local Walmart. I guess they're going to be selling at $70 a hobby box, which gets you 2 autos and a bunch of parallels. And they will have Cody Bellinger. I don't think he has autos in it, but it's going to be his first Dodger rookie.
It's just too bad.
And you're going to have Judge autos. You're going to have Moncada. You're going to have all the usual suspects in this Walmart-only set.
I love Bowman Platinum. I think it's such a sharp design.
It's nice.
And
so maybe you can, when you send your wife in to get you, some supplies, you can put this on her list to get stuff for you. You can put Bowman Platinum right on the little shopping list. You can go to the next little slide there.
It was, it was.
See, right up there with carpet freshener, air freshener, and coochie spray. You can put 2017 Bowman Platinum. That was from the website peopleofwalmart.com.
Spray and wipes, huh?
You notice everything on there is scent based. That person's house must just smell like a rat, dude. Like you just need to clean everything.
or it smells amazing now.
yeah. So
is that I can't. That third one from the top, is that candles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carpet freshener.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a stinky ass house.
Air freshener. Yeah.
And then, but make sure when you bring your money up to the counter, they do not accept any boob or sock money due to the rising summer temperatures. So if you're paying with your Bowman Platinum, if you're trying to get some Bowman Platinum, make sure you have maybe your, not in your sock or your boobs. So it's gross. Thanks. It's a real sign at one of the Walmarts. So, but what I was making a point earlier is that this stuff probably won't be on DealerNet B2B, so the price should stay at $70 until Walmart sells out of it, right?
It won't.
Do you think they're going to be like hiking the prices up at Walmart?
It'll be, we'll see how it does, but usually the retail stuff ends up being available from distributors. Because some distributors will buy out the remaining stock that Topps will have. Because let's face it, Walmart isn't going to blow through a lot of Bowman Platinum. It's not going to happen.
Well, now that we said it, go buy some. Don't let
at $70 a box, people are not going to be going in there. They're not even going to stock that much.
No box left behind. Buy it. I'm just telling people to not support the hobby and go to Walmart. That's good news for the day. We have our tier 1 winner from last week. Our marketing department failed and we only had 3 retweets for the contest. So
way to go, Troy.
Props to that. No, it was me. It was me. At Michael28254850. You're in tonight's tier 1 random. It'll be under Twitter winner when C-Rad does the random tonight. So that'll be your spot, whatever team you get. Congratulations. So we'll be doing another giveaway this week. And yeah, so stay tuned for that on Twitter, Facebook, on the live feed on how you could win something for next week. So I'm going to briefly touch on this. We're running out of time. Exclusives and why they don't work. And this is kind of probably half the battle that we're facing here. The major card companies all have exclusives, and they suck because it only hurts the collector at the end of the day. They all have that. I mean, you got the Upper Deck has some of the most coveted ones, and they don't even make basketball cards. They let me get to my little thing here. They've got LeBron James. They have Wayne Gretzky, Connor McDavid. Michael Jordan's a huge one. Topps has Bryant, Trout, Harper, Moniak, Jeter, to name a few. Panini just signed Fournette. They've got Kobe. They have lots of exclusives. It's just, it's if we've talked to these industry guys and they don't seem open to this. This is something that's been going on. If you Wikipedia Fleer, you can actually hear the rumblings in the 60s and the 70s about how they were battling for exclusives then. For Topps had the exclusive for the bubble gum to print in the cards, and then so Fleer had to come up with a sticker thing to put in the cards to differentiate because Topps had the license, and then they had Topps had over on any court case. Topps had the ruling; they could say no if somebody wants to compete against them. Wouldn't it make sense if there was some competition? If it was a free market and the NBA or the MLB let licenses, I mean, don't give it to everybody, but at least have 2 people and no exclusives. It's only going to benefit the collector, and in turn, the companies are also going to succeed because they're going to be able to sell products with Jordan, with LeBron, with these big names that were signed for exclusives. If these companies work together, I think overall it could be a lot better place and a lot more desirable collectibles.
Oh, that was cute.
Like a kitty cute.
You just want everybody to play nice, don't you?
Play nice, man.
Sometimes you can't. You can't always play nice in business.
I know. But
I mean, once the exclusive ball gets rolling, it's only going to get worse, and we're seeing it. We just saw it with the NHL draft. If I'm not mistaken, the first overall pick and the second overall pick are exclusive to Leaf
for autograph deals. Yeah.
For autograph deals. So, I mean, those kids blow up. And I know it's not. I don't think it's that big of a rookie class for hockey this year, but we're gonna basically have to sell Upper Deck product without the first overall pick and the second overall pick not having autograph deals. That's gonna be tough.
Right.
And we just saw it. We saw it this year with 16-17 basketball and Ben Simmons.
Yep. First
overall pick. Upper Deck got him. I mean, you think these manufacturers are going to learn their lesson? Because we've already talked about it. Do you think Upper Deck really monetized Ben Simmons?
No, absolutely not.
We know they didn't. They absolutely did not monetize it. Is Leaf going to be able to monetize the first 2 overall picks? Probably do a better job than Upper Deck did with Ben Simmons. But no logos. We're talking rookies with no logos.
Yep. Well, and it's confusing to the collector because if you just jump back into this hobby and you're a hockey fan, maybe you're buying in to get the Flyers rookie, Nolan Patrick. You're buying into Upper Deck Ice or whatever, and you're like, I'm looking for an auto of that guy, and then you realize you don't have it, but you just assumed it's his rookie year. It's going to be in the box. You don't know.
Now, there could be a couple players in that draft that come out and end up being the better players that are not the first and second overall pick. But I mean, it really, really sucks for the collector.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's us, the collectors, that get hurt by exclusives.
Yep.
But the funny thing is, it really doesn't benefit the manufacturers either. You see it time and time again. They can't monetize it.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to buy, and I'm sorry, but nobody wants, if they have a choice between a Leaf card without a logo on it or an Upper Deck card with a logo on it, they're going to go with the Upper Deck one 100 out of 100 times.
Right, and Leaf has great value. Great value. They do the best job that they can do without the license.
No, and I'll tell you, I mean, basically, you're going to see those top 2 guys, and you're going to buy a Leaf hockey product, and you're probably going to be almost guaranteed hitting one or even both those guys in like every case.
Right.
Where Upper Deck, you wouldn't be able to do that. Like you'd be lucky to get one of them in one case. And that may be a master case. Like they definitely try to monetize it. They short print it. And
I mean, we talked about this before, and it's like we kind of a down basketball year. I mean, some of the products had done well, like NT and some scattered basketball products, but none of these guys performed. Could you imagine if we had like LeBron and Jordan? I mean, it wouldn't matter who else is in it. If they put it in a licensed product and you had the chance at Jordan logo mans or autos and James logo mans and autos, it wouldn't matter what else is in the product, at least for like 5 years of that. You could just run just those 2 guys out, and it wouldn't matter if Lonzo Ball got drafted. Because we have and now some of the old school Upper Deck guys are probably protecting their logo mans. They don't want that to happen. But there's room in the market for more of those pieces. And like I said, like when the NBA license came up for renewal, Upper Deck should have maybe played nice and said, hey, Panini, we'll give you Jordan and LeBron for certain releases. You let us have 5 NBA releases. And I think we've talked about this before, so sorry if this is coming off redundant, but we'll let you have those guys for certain releases. You let us have 5 or 6 releases. We'll come out with Exquisite. We'll come out with Black. We'll come out with SB Authentic. We'll come out with these 5 licensed NBA products, and we'll make sure that we don't come out with them around Flawless or Immaculate. We'll let you have your time to shine, and then we'll come out with ours a month later, and, it'll only bring more people in to buy basketball products. Once Exquisite's gone, people are going to buy Spectra because people love basketball. But when products continue to perform badly and people feel like they get hosed by some of these Panini basketball products, these collectors are going to go away.
Manufacturers don't want to be overshadowed, and they're not going to want to give another manufacturer 5 releases of a product, so they can basically put all their resources into those 5 products, and those 5 products blow the rest of their products out of the water. Why would you do that from a business standpoint? Why would you allow somebody to do that?
Because but you have to think bigger picture. You can't, like us, we've been having fun doing this group breaking thing for 7 years now, and it's a dream to come in here and open up cards and talk to you guys, and it doesn't even seem like work half the time. But if we were the only ones doing it when we were one of the originals, we'd still, if nobody else came around, we'd still be probably breaking 1 day a week, or we wouldn't even be doing it anymore. We'd probably move on to something else. Competition and products coming out caused us to evolve and grow as well, and it's just something that's healthy for everybody. That's the way I see it. Now, some of these guys behind these companies may say you're flat out wrong, but if you work together and you have a dialogue and nobody stabs everybody in the back or takes a guy away and I'm the first on this guy, not only are you battling for an exclusive, you're paying probably way more for this guy than you need to because you're trying to outbid the next guy.
You're getting into a bidding war.
Right. If you said, hey, I'm just letting you know, Upper Deck, I'm going to sign Connor McDavid for 20, you should give him 20 as well. And he's not going to have anything to say because now he's like, well, Leaf gave me 25. Upper Deck's giving me 30. Well, now I want 35. Now it's like, blah, 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 blah. You got a bidding war going on. And now you're paying $70 for a Connor McDavid auto.
You should be an auctioneer.
I
think that's your calling.
I could be a Micro Machines guy. They should bring that one back.
No, I think there is only one Micro Machines guy. It's not a micro. You can't. There's not like a group of them. I think it's just one guy.
I do have a dream world. It's kind of like fluffy clouds and rainbows, and everybody singing "So Happy Together." That's what's going down. But it's not going to happen. But it would be awesome if it did. I mean, it would be. Dare to dream.
Maybe you need to get a shirt that says "Would be awesome if it did."
It would be awesome if it did. C-Rat, what do you think about having frickin' Jordan logo mans again?
Dude, I want to live in that dream world again.
LeBron, imagine this. You could have a triple logo man of LeBron, Jordan, and Curry.
I actually think we didn't let Conrad talk enough this show. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, we're assholes.
I don't think there's any basketball on the agenda today.
I know. Well, like I said, we had that extra couple days off trying to slam together a show for another week. We didn't really it was just me putting together all the data. So
I think that Dak thing was important to cover, man.
Definitely. And we are running out of time, but I do want to get into some product previews of what's coming out on the docket. Coming soon to a break near you, mojobreak.com. We got the kabooms. What do you think about Excalibur, C-Rad? Coming out on Friday, this Friday.
Looks the same as always. Kaboom chasing time.
Yep. Looks like you're going to get three hits per box. It's a 16-box case. Then we have Gold Standard right around the corner. I believe July 12th. Gold Standard comes back to football. Guess you got some nice-looking autos there. You got some vet stuff. That gold background should be a nice hit.
I like that. It has the Spectra ink, that silver, that kind of white ink.
Yeah, it looks good on those cards.
Like that.
It looks good on those cards. And Optic Baseball for Panini. It's got Judge autos. It's got Benintendi autos. That's going to be hot. That's right around the corner as well.
It may have Bellinger.
Yeah, Optic may have Bellinger and Judge.
And Benintendi.
And this was an amazing box that we hit today. This was at a one-box museum, guys. Bryce Harper, Mike Trout in the same box out of the mixer earlier today.
Only me.
Only Dan. So
only me.
Be sure to check out breaks at mojobreak.com. We're live for the rest of the day with breaks. We've got Spectra. We've got we're doing a studio case. You guys can check that out. We've got an NFL mixer on the dockets. We've got more Tier 1. We've got some Gala NBA. And we're going to be pretty much live all week. So, I want to throw out a code. Now, give it some time. It's not going to work right away. I'm going to throw out a 15% off code. All you got to do is type in the hype, and that's going to go for any PYT. So any pick your team break. It's not going to work on randoms. It's not going to work on random numbers, so please don't send us any emails saying it won't work. Be sure to listen to this back if you're not sure. So use the code.
The hype, one word.
All one word, the hype together, all lowercase, is going to get you 15% off of any pick your team style break. And that code is going to be valid for 48 hours. So the 7th of July, if you try to use it, it won't work. Your ass out. Sorry. So, give me, and if you're trying it now, it's not going to work because I got to still do it.
And
so
I am going to reiterate: do not send us an email saying that it's not working for a random. Please.
Dan loves emails, by the way.
Please don't do that. It only works on PYT. Pick your team. So if there's a drop-down menu and you're picking a team, it'll work. If it's a random, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yep.
It's not going to work on a random number break. It's not going to work on a tiered random break. Only a PYT break.
Yep, only where you're dropping down the menu and you're picking out like the Nationals or, one of those teams. So it works like Alan Ginter just put up for pre-sale. There's 2 cases. Grab a team, save 15%.
It'll work for Excalibur.
Yep.
Excalibur, we have 2 PYTs on Friday.
Yep.
It'll work for that.
It'll work for that. But give us some time to put it up. That does it for the show. We've got the NFL Mixer coming up next. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week for episode 4. Check out mojobreak.com. Please share this video to anybody that's that likes the hobby. We want to get as many people commenting and participating and adding stories. We also plan to have guests on. I know you guys are going to be tired of looking at our faces constantly, so we're trying to work out the technology to get video people in via Skype and contributing to the show in that regard as well. So, and we're also going to probably plan some samples, some nice fancy samples and stuff like that going.
Yeah, we're going to make some
well.
sick beats.
Some
we're going to do a little production.
Yep. So that's it for today. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on the feed and in the breaks. Peace out.